today. I hope we had a good day. We've got a lot of things to talk about, but I was looking at my pre-video. These partisans, man, they just don't stop. Imagine, I just want to engage in this thought experiment for a second, guys. Imagine for a second you were a partisan, and you were so triggered by the truth of your political party that you stop what you were doing to literally demonize or do ad hominem attacks or whatnot to the person that was speaking the truth. Just imagine the desperation. Just imagine the sadness inside them. It's fucking sad, bro. It really is. These partisans are just like, they're desperate, man. They're desperate to hold on to some like semblance of social norms and conventional wisdom. But there really isn't any. There's none at all.
It's a motherfucking left wing politics. And y'all really feel me? Right wing to the left wing. Unified. E pluribus unum. Out of many, one. Unified as fuck. Guys, I've been watching these two parties all day. I know all their plans. They don't care about you. They want all the things the donors they have in their hands. Puppets of the rich, no principles or values at all. It's clear as the day. They just use the issues to divide us all. It's time to say, I'm gonna let you go. Y'all Democrats and y'all Republicans, you're not responsible. Y'all Democrats and y'all Republicans, no ideology, nothing but greed. Y'all Democrats and y'all Republicans, you're not what we need. Y'all don't need no Democrats, y'all don't need Republicans. We blue-collar working class people all work paycheck to paycheck, sleep, while we all just lease in housing in the richest country in the world. Is this right at all? No. Don't need no Democrats, don't need Republicans. They're not responsible. Ain't no Democrats, ain't no Republicans. They're so bad for this country, y'all. Don't need no Democrats, don't need Republicans. Say yes or say no to life and liberty, pursuit of happiness. We're mirroring the fall of Rome. Don't need no Democrats, don't need Republicans. This is the greatest country, y'all. Without the fucking Democrats, without the fucking Republicans. Countrymen, Americans, we're the people of the USA. Like Washington had to say, political parties are gay. We have the power in this bitch. We're heading off a ditch with crazy partisan. Every day, progressively getting worse. Our tax dollars they splurge and they fill up their purse. Don't you know? I gotta tell somebody, my countrymen are somebody. We the people somebody. Promote the general welfare to posterity. It's what we have to be. Americans, you see. Don't be scared. We Americans, y'all know. Our birthright, right, we show. Y'all rebel tyrants, they know, bitch. Don't you know? Don't need these parties. We don't need these parties. We don't need these parties. We gotta take the trash out. Don't Democrats, don't need Republicans. We got to let the trash go. Don't need no Democrats, no Republicans. Our country is the people, yo. Don't need no Democrats, no Republicans. Say yes or say no, cause we don't need no Democrats, we don't need Republicans. No. Don't need no Democrats, don't need Republicans. Don't need no Democrats, no Republicans. We the people establish, yo. Don't need no Democrats, no Republicans. In order for more perfect union, establish justice, promote the general welfare, secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity. Don't need no fuck Democrats, Republicans, trash. Don't need no Democrats, fuck them Republicans. No, we don't need no Democrats, no Republicans. Alienable rights should not be infringed.
This is Tommy Nation Politics. Sorry, we had some technical difficulties there. But we're still free thinking, innovative, totally open minded. Man, I mean, technology. It's an animal. It's an animal just like any other. One must master, and one must also be prepared for you know the thing, for technical difficulties, right? One thing that in my mind I don't understand with the technical difficulties is I don't understand the difficulty of understanding logic or the pros and cons of things. I don't understand not knowing that Joe Biden is the 46th president of the United States. He hasn't done anything. And incremental change. Medicare for all, none. Expanding Obamacare, none. This coming Tuesday is election day, guys. It's when we reflect on what these two parties have done for us, because they're supposed to serve at the pleasure of the people of the United States of America. So it's disappointing, guys, when we accept crumbs, and it's disappointing when I have partisans on my chat right now. They're cowards. Of course, they don't confront me face to face. They like to message me disparaging things. They don't really have an argument. They don't really have a qualm with me, because I think deep down they know everything that I'm saying is true, but they're just upset that I think what Cypher said, ignorance is bliss. And once you trigger someone's reality, it's a dangerous thing with human beings. Human beings are, we have a very delicate mindset. We don't. They're a real thing. They can lead us back to trauma. They can lead us back to flashbacks. Some people are actually they have double personalities, like that movie Splice, where they can't deal with a certain trauma so much they invent another personality to deal with it. I think that's what America's done, honestly. I feel like we traded our liberties for security, and we were so scared after that it could actually happen on our shores that we decided that we were going to shut our eyes and not even realize, even guess what the Democrats and Republicans were doing. But guys, the reality is these things are happening no matter whether you can deal with them or not. These things are happening. And also the reality is that George Washington warned us about this in the beginning. And we with our zeal and our 40 years of neoliberal policies, they culminated to this moment, guys. This moment where the 1% own more wealth than the bottom 90% combined, guys. And it is what it is. It is what it is. It's not your fault, nor is slavery, but the things you're doing now determine the trajectory of the future. And it's very important that we act accordingly. I would like that we acted like our founding fathers, who shouted from the mountaintops and from the Boston Harbor, no taxation without representation. They were very brave. If we could only get that bravery, guys. If we could only get that bravery. We're playing a game of politics. The game of politics, guys, it wasn't like the first United States presidential election. It wasn't a unanimous vote on the side of George Washington. The citizen. But did you ever wonder what the first presidential election was like? The U.S. presidential election determines who will serve as the office of commander in chief of our armed forces. And it used to be that the runner up, we would have serve as the vice president. So that the two opposing sides would have to work according to the common good, because that was the founding fathers' main mechanism in establishing the Constitution. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice. And how do you establish justice? Does justice only have one wing? Does justice only have one eye? The justice has two eyes and they're blind. These candidates, guys, that were the first five anyway, they were beginning with a fresh constitution of working checks and balances. And more than half of a dozen candidates with so many opposing different ideologies. You couldn't put them in a box. It wasn't just Republican or Democrat. It was Federalists, Whigs, Tories. These candidates, guys, they began their campaigning with the people because they knew where the power was. They knew where the power was. The power, guys, is with we the people. It is not with the technocrats and the oligarchs. It's not with Jeff Bezos. It's not with a king or dictator. It was with the people. Because those people, guys, they face some real struggles. That shit was uncalled for, bro. It was uncalled for.
Mr. Garland, Facebook has admitted in a letter to the Arizona Attorney General that it, quote, allows people to share information about how to enter a country illegally or request information about how to be smuggled, close quote. 8 U.S.C. 1324 criminalizes aiding and abetting entry into the U.S. By illegal aliens. Have you sent a letter or issued a memorandum similar to the 10-421 memorandum directing departmental resources to be dedicated to investigating the apparent violation of law, similar to the one? Have you done that?
I haven't seen the letter or information that you're talking about, but if it was sent to the department, I'll make sure that we look at it.
It has been reported that Mark Zuckerberg also spent over $400 million in a, quote, carefully orchestrated attempt, close quote, to influence the 2020 election. Those efforts have been referred to as a, quote, private takeover of government election operations, close quote. Have you sent a letter or issued a memorandum directing departmental resources be dedicated to investigate these claims?
I don't know what was done in 2020 in the previous administration of the Justice Department.
We're talking about the election of 2020. All of this has come out since then, and you've not,
I don't know.
Totally unaware of that?
I'm not aware of what you're talking about. I'm sorry.
So you have not sent a memo, or you're not investigating that either. Last Sunday, more than 300 churches in Virginia aired a video featuring Vice President Harris advocating the election of Terry McAuliffe as governor of Virginia. This appears to violate Section 501c3 of the IRS Code, as well as other election laws, and seems to be an orchestrated effort by the VP and McAuliffe to violate the law. Have you sent a letter or issued a memorandum directing departmental resources be dedicated to investigating this apparent violation of law, similar to the letter you issued, or excuse me, the memorandum you issued on October 4th targeting parents who exercise their First Amendment rights at local school boards?
No.
On May 24th, 2021, under oath before a congressional committee, Dr. Anthony Fauci denied the National Institute of Health provided any funding for gain-of-function research, saying, quote, that categorically was not done, close quote. Today, this very day, the NIH issued a statement contradicting that testimony, which suggests that Dr. Fauci may have committed perjury. This is a criminal offense, and I'm left to wonder if you intend to look into that and send a communication such as a letter or a memo similar to the October 4th memo that you issued regarding parents going to school board meetings to investigate Dr. Fauci's potential perjury.
Again, I'll refer to the long-standing departmental norm that we don't comment about investigations pending or unpending. The general point that you're making normally would come with a referral from the relevant committee, but other
So
than that, I can't say anything.
the actual point I'm making is you chose, as a response to a letter from the National School Board Association, and as you said earlier today, newspaper accounts, to issue a memorandum to organize task force and investigate and put a chill on parents' participation before school boards. Now you say, oh, I didn't mean to provide a chill, but that's exactly what any sentient being would have assumed would happen when you asked the federal government to begin looking into this. Of course parents are going to be nervous now. Of course people will step back. That's the purpose of my questioning. So when we get to these things like Zuckerberg, Facebook, Kamala Harris, we get to and Dr. Fauci's purported perjury, there's no indication. You didn't hold back. You issued a press release. Do you see the distinction? How about this one? Since January 20 of 2021, Border Patrol has encountered more than 1.3 million aliens at the southwest border trying to illegally enter the country. You yourself have acknowledged today that that remains a crime. Have you sent a letter or issued a memorandum to U.S. attorneys directing prosecution of these cases?
No, and the reference of cases comes from the Department of Homeland Security, as I mentioned before.
Look, you managed to issue a memorandum about parents showing up at school boards. Why can't you issue a memorandum regarding the million-plus people who illegally enter the country and encouraging your youth?
Game over.
Game over.
From The Guardian. National paid family and medical leave purportedly cut from the U.S. reconciliation package. This is Wednesday, October 27th at 10:18 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm reading from The Guardian. Democrats' proposal to re-establish National Paid Family and Medical Leave program has likely been cut from the reconciliation package, according to its multiple efforts. If the proposal is eliminated, it will almost certainly outrage advocates who have noted that the U.S. woefully trails its peers and nations. It woefully trails its peers and nations with healthcare, with science, with technology, with infrastructure, with quality of living. The United States, once the greatest country in the face of the world, now trails Sweden, Norway, Citrus Joe Manchin voiced criticism of Democrats' proposed tax on billionaires. Oh no, please don't tax my fucking masters. Don't tax my masters. Senator Majority Leader Chuck Schumer said Democrats are within arm's length of a deal on the reconciliation package. It's a deal that won't include you. Because the Democrats and Republicans have only one fucking priority. You know what that is? All you gotta do is look it up in the dictionary. All you gotta do is use your common sense and critical thinking skills. What do you think their one priority is? Because they're politicians. What is a politician? What is a political party? It's time to start defining these things. If we're going to have labels in a world, we might as well make labels mean something. What do these labels mean? It's really not that hard. Not that hard, guys. Once you do, though, you're not going to like what you see. It's not about you. So, guys, let me just tell you, as the activists in Cuba defied the government and continue preparing for nationwide protests, just like the general strike on October 15th, by the way, good job, progressives. Those of us that stayed progressive, stayed true to our principles and values, even though Bernie Sanders decided that he was going to acquiesce to the guy who tried to cut Social Security, the guy who ordered crime bill that incarcerated half my race, decided to acquiesce and become a cabinet member in the presidential administration that has the worst presidential administration of 50. Said in a speech Sunday, the protests were a plan orchestrated by the exterior. A plan orchestrated by the exterior. Yes, guys. So Russia's not getting most of the brunt. The Democrats know that they're about to lose royally. They've inflicted mandates and unconstitutional mandates at that on the American people. These rights shall not be infringed. Read the Constitution, guys. Read it. Read it, please. Read it. Read the dictionary. These rights shall not be infringed. 40% approval rating for Biden. Worst. Except one. He's already getting his war chest ready. I don't think you're going to need it, Joe. First of all, you're going to be dead before then. Second of all, you're a dementia-riddled old man who's done nothing. Not a Green New Deal, living wage, legalize marijuana. Didn't you want to expand Obamacare? Where is that? You haven't done a goddamn thing. And it's not cinema and mansion. If you guys really think that 2 senators and a body of 300 plus senators are the problem, what the fuck Kool-Aid were you drinking, bro? And did it have alcohol? And probably some absinthe, because you got some wormwood in your system, guys. This is a fucking nightmare, because our politicians are puppets. I just want to say it outright. Politicians are puppets. And the deep state's running things. And they're very, very in charge. And they're very decisive. $500 million worth of drones to Qatar. The Saudi allies we have that have immunity. They can rape your daughters. Have immunity here. They have immunity. They have immunity. Do y'all know what immunity is? So many things y'all look up, friends. So here's what I want to project to the world here at the end of my thing. Because remember, I had technical difficulties. I had a pre-video. I just want to raise some questions as you guys continue your stupid march to stupidity, like lemmings jumping into the water and drowning themselves. But drowning me as well. Because we, the people, God, who would have thought that the founding fathers who invented checks and balances and a perfect system of equal and opposite accountability, the system would be turned on its side by 2 parties that weren't supposed to exist. And now I would be literally dragged with you to the depths of depravity. The questions that I want to pose, guys, is this. How far are you willing to go to betray our country and our values? You betrayed My Body, My Choice. You betrayed a Green New Deal, a Medicare for All. When you voted for Joe Biden, you betrayed legalizing marijuana. When you voted for Joe Biden, you betrayed everything a liberal stands for: life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness. When you voted for a dementia-riddled old man who was a pocket boy for the credit card industries and the prison industrial complex, you knew what he was. So what I pose to you partisans is this, and it's actually a premise and it's a question. Is you knew what Joe Biden was. You knew he was a credit card boy for Wall Street, the banks, the military industrial complex, and credit cards. You knew that he was a poster boy for the military industrial complex and the prison industry. He wrote a bill specially for them, got paid millions, went to Martha's Vineyard. That's how he got rich, the prisons. He put my people in prison and he got rich. You knew this. You knew this. And let me tell you this, guys. While you might think I'm crazy, while you might think I'm angry, I am angry. I am angry. There's no quantifiable metric way you can judge the distinction between Donald J. Trump and Joe Biden. Try it. Try it, please. Please try it. Give me a quantifiable metric that can give a distinction between nothing fundamentally changing. 7 times 0 is 0. 1,000 times 0 is 0. The lesser of two evils times 0 is 0. You're mathematically illogical and bizarre. And so you can write all the comments you want on my fucking wall. You could send all the memes you like to my fucking page. But that does not change the fact that you guys have no argument and you're fucking idiots. And you're dragging us all to hell. So my question is this. Why don't you get some help? And here's another one. Why don't you be free thinking, innovative,